Hello everybody, it's Jesse, those with jazz hands, and this is Revenge of the Q and or A. I've got questions, you've got answers. I messed that up, but I'm gonna keep going. Doesn't matter. I guess I do have questions, but I can't guarantee that you've got the answers. Thankfully, I have some. Whew, nice save, Jesse. Alright, so now I'm gonna lick this. There's your GIF. Don't know what's happening anymore. So if you're wondering why I'm loopy and have this weird voice frog thing going on, it's because I stayed up till 6 a.m. playing Civilization Beyond Earth with Crendor and Invicta last night. Crendor takes 12 hours to make a turn. We could have been done by maybe 2, maybe 3. Dude's like, hold on, let me consider every move. He won through boredom. I think he won by like 6 points because we just quit. Like, everyone was just like, it's too early, Crendor. And he's like, I win. I'm victor. I have won. We'll do a rematch one day, and I'll set the turn limits to like 2 minutes max. Ugh. But I love that game. Beyond Earth is great. Anyway, let's talk news, because there's a lot of stuff happening before we get to these questions, and I kind of feel like we haven't done one of these in a while since I have been super freaking busy. I've been doing a show for Geek and Sundry that is coming out soon. I've been doing promos for different networks for something called Halloween, which is next week. I've been doing all sorts of stuff on other, basically trying to get 1 million subs as fast as I can. We still have a few months, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and then July 4th. So we got a long way to go. How many this is, we still got a long way to go, but you know, I just want to make sure we get there faster. That's all. So we have got a lot to go through today before we get to the actual Q&A. I have so many things to even announce. The Witcher intro came out today. It's pretty damn awesome. If you are into candles and Jesse Cox related products, Game Tea in the description has a whole new line of my stuff just in time for the holiday season. So that might be something to go get. The candle is fabulous looking. I don't know what it smells like because they haven't sent me one yet. So I can't guarantee it'll get you laid, but it's purple and probably will. So you're welcome. Speaking of merchandise, you will remember, if you follow my Twitter, 2 weeks ago now, I tweeted out about how I bought some stuff from Muster Brand and how much I loved it. And I was like, I'm gonna see if I can get deals for you guys, because basically that place is expensive as balls. Like, it has some really great quality stuff, but it's also expensive. And so I tweeted to them and then emailed them, and now they have a code, and it gives you a certain percentage off. I think it's 10 maybe. And it's just Space Butterfly's the code. So if you want to go to Muster Brand, the link's in the description below. The code Space Butterfly, all one word. And I don't get anything from it. This isn't like one of those box crates where I'm like, hey man, you should totally go subscribe because I get a certain percentage of what you buy. No, it's none of that. I don't get a cent. I just love their stuff. And everyone, when I tweeted, was just like, oh my god, it's so expensive. And I was like, let me see if I can do the old Cox charm on these guys. So that's the best I could do. That's what they were willing to give me. And that code lasts until October 31st. So you have a good week to buy whatever you want from there for a little bit cheaper than it normally would have been. Oh, I gotta talk about this. A very, very cool butterfly out there like yourselves decided to make an unofficial Jesse Cox Chrome extension. I think it's in the works. It's almost done, but there's a Reddit link in the description below. It is awesome. When it's done, basically, it's just a Chrome extension that appears, and you just click it, and you're just like, here's all Jesse's crap that he's doing right now. It's the coolest. I couldn't even be more thankful that that exists and is a work in progress, and just a dude doing it out of the kindness of his heart. That's the coolest. So thank you so much for that. I guess the last thing we'll talk about before we keep going on with nonsense here is Crendor and I are doing a Warlords of Draenor series over on Polaris. It's called Nerd Lords of Draenor, and we play through the game a little bit, and then they make an animated version of what we've done. I've seen some of them. They're really, really funny. Please go watch this. Crendor and I are really, like, in the Blizzard world. We love everyone at Blizzard. We're good friends with people at Blizzard, and we want this to just be a success. We're not asking for, like, 1 million views or anything crazy like that. We just want people to watch it. Just make it more views than the stuff that normally goes on Polaris. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Give us podcast numbers. That'd be good. Podcast numbers. All right, let's get down to this hat, shall we? Question the first. This comes from Nicholas Madden, who says, "Hey, Jesse, do you do any tabletop gaming or role-playing? D&D, Shadowrun, White Wolf, etc., etc. If not, would you be interested in learning and playing?" I do, in fact, do tabletop, although the only time I do it now is over the internet. I'm doing a long-running show. It's been on for a while now with It Me JP and Maggie and DJ Wheat and Steve, and basically we have a whole crew, and we're doing, it's the R&D role-playing of Numenera, and it's fantastic. I don't want to spoil anything. Go watch it on It Me JP's channel. We're planning on doing our 9th week, which is about a 4-hour session coming up soon. It's great. I love it. Honestly, I don't have much time to role-play or play board games unless it's like being filmed or I'm on a vacation or something like at a convention. Yes, conventions are vacation despite me working the entire time. I mean, just as an example, I've only really played 2 board games in the last few months. One for tabletop, which I cannot spoil. I will not. And one was at PAX Prime, and we played the Firefly board game. That was fun. But, yeah, really I just don't have time. It's either you make videos, like, I don't want to spoil how it works, guys, but it's a complicated process to keep making videos and to do YouTube stuff. So basically, your time is minimal at best. Like, hanging out with friends devolves into, like, are you doing something? Do you want to film something together? Let's film something together. And then you can work in hanging out then. That's literally what it's come down to. But, yeah, I love board games. I love tabletop. I love Dungeons and Dragons. People who are at GemuCon will remember the character Grubthak the Deballer. He was my hobgoblin that created Hobgoblin Law, and he collected the balls of his fallen enemies. Elemies? Whatever. He was a shaman. He has elements, so he's got to have some elemies. What is going on? Let's move on to the next question, shall we? Question the second. This comes from Camilla Freidenlund, who says, "I'm slowly getting my own channel working. I'm interested in knowing how you manage to stick with YouTube, as I have tried on and off for a couple of years now, but I just can't get myself to stick to it long enough to make it work. Any advice? Also, would streams be better with our community at this age?" I think streams are why a lot of people are moving to Twitch, because it gives you more fan interaction. There's more of a gateway too, so you can like set barriers of who can talk. You can earn money sort of at your own pace. I think that's why people are moving to Twitch. Also, it doesn't have the insane rules and unfairness that YouTube has sometimes. YouTube will flag you for things and you're like, I don't know why you're doing this. And then when you bring it up to them, they're like, sorry, we can't do anything. When it comes to YouTube, the reason I think most of us stick with it, even though sometimes it can be unbearable, is because it's our job. We're making a living, and your job is sometimes unbearable. I would imagine if you're not making any money off of it, that it's probably one of those like, well, I'm doing it for fun kind of things, but I'd like to be making money. It's a hobby. And for some of us, this hobby has become our job. I have always said, and will continue to say, don't do it. When everyone's like, please tell me how to be on YouTube, I'm like, no, go learn math and science, go save our planet, go have a real job. YouTube could be dead tomorrow for all we know. So I guess I would simply say, if you are really dedicated to having a channel and making content, just do it. You got to push through the bad times sometime, and you just got to do it. Or, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Take a break, come back to it, live your life. You know, I remember when I lived a life. Now this is it. This is my life. So, you know, do what makes you happy, I would say. Let's do one more. Sure, why not? Question the third. This comes from Matt Williams, who says, as a person studying film, I often have to make projects for my class, one of which requires me to read off a script. This is very troubling for me because I can't seem to read the script without stuttering or being monotone. I usually do fine if I'm just improvising in front of a mic or a camera, but reading off a script for some reason is completely different. Knowing you did voice work in the past, I ask you, what are some tips that you have about reading off a script or written work? That's actually a really good question. I would say when reading off a script or written work, the biggest key to remember is you're still talking to someone. And the way you talk to someone, you don't talk like, hello, how do you do? What are you doing? Is everything okay? Great. Some people do, Crendor does, but most human beings don't do that. That's how you read aloud. And I think you've gotten that way from reading aloud in class. You probably had a lot of classes in school that were like, read this book out loud. The way you get away from that is remembering that everything has a voice. And so if you're reading something aloud, there's a voice to it. And characters have voices. So when you read something that's like, watch out, there's a monster behind you, she said, right? You should be like, watch out, there's a monster behind you, she said. Like that. Like everyone has a voice, everyone's telling a story, and when you're reading a script or you're reading a presentation, you're telling the story, you're informing the audience. And so you just have to make it like a conversation. Imagine this. This is one of the first things I learned while voice acting for commercials. Imagine someone asks you a question and you're giving the answer. So make up the question, whatever it is that associates with what you're saying, and then you're giving the answer to them. So if someone asks you a question about, I don't know what your project is, let's say, soup. Someone said, like, why is that soup so good? And then your answer would be like, I don't know, Campbell's soup is just so delicious. It's good. I can't believe I said that, but that's true, because it's delicious. And now my voice is talking to you like I'm a caring friend. But really, I just want you to buy my fucking product. Right? That's all it is. That's all it is. So just focus on making it have its own personality. Be yourself. Don't, if you have a little fear in there, if you're a little afraid, don't be afraid. Everyone hates public speaking. And the only people who don't are egotistical assholes like myself who love it. Who just feed off of the energy. And eventually everyone gets there. If you do it enough, you crave it. So, that's my tip to you. Let's do one more. I'm in the zone. My voice is shot, but I'm in the zone. All right. What is going on? Question. Thank God for that fan back there. It's like 12,000 degrees. The fourth. Stephen Moore wants to know, when was the last time a video game plot twist actually made you speechless? One that caught you so completely by surprise that you were dumbstruck. Oh, man. I don't remember. Most video game plot twists I tend to see coming pretty far away. The one that got me, the very first one that got me, that made me love the game, was Final Fantasy VI. I think that was the one that got me, because halfway through the game, spoiler, you think you've beaten it, and it's like, no, game over. You still have 20 hours left to play. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of ones that I played on the channel. Like, Bioshock Infinite had a twist, but I saw that come in. Balls. I don't... Maybe Shadow of the Colossus when a character dies. I don't want to spoil that. Damn. You know what? I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you on this. I'm going to think about this, and next week on the next Q&A, I will reveal my answer. That's my little segue moving in. I would say to you, what is your favorite, most shocking moment? What blew your mind in video games? I would love to hear that. And put that in the comments below. Look at us! This is like what vloggers do. Like, leave your comments. I'm really interested. Except I'm really interested. Unlike them, who are just, you know. Anyway, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And, as always, the 1 million subs, so, you know, for real, though, subscribe. As always, to be continued.